On a quiet spring night in 2008, a 19-year-old man called his parents from a deserted back road. He's calm, apologetic. His car is stuck, but is okay. They talk for nearly 50 minutes, until suddenly he says two chilling words. "Oh shit." And then, silence. No screaming, no crash, just nothing. To this day, Brandon Swanson has never been seen again. This is the story of the boy who vanished while on the phone. Brandon Victor Swanson was 19 years old. He lived in Marshall, Minnesota, a small, quiet town surrounded by endless farmland and back roads. By all accounts, Brandon was responsible, well-liked, and grounded. He had dreams of transferring to a 4-year-old college working in wind energy technology. No drugs, no criminal history, just a normal teenager about to step into adulthood. He had his whole life ahead of him, and that's what makes what happened next so haunting. It was May 14, 2008, the night of his college semester's end. Brandon attended a couple of low-key parties to celebrate. By witnesses' accounts, he had a few drinks, but he wasn't intoxicated. He was calm, happy, saying goodbye to friends before summer. Around 11:30 p.m., he got into his car, a green Chevy Lumina, and began the drive home. It was supposed to be a simple 30-minute drive. Instead, it became a journey into the unknown. Around 1:15 a.m., Brandon called his parents. His voice was calm, slightly frustrated. He told them he'd accidentally driven his car into a ditch. He wasn't hurt, just stuck. He needed a ride home. He told them he was near Lind, Minnesota, about 7 miles from their house. So his parents, Brian and Annette Swanson, got into their pickup truck and set off to find him. Brandon stayed on the phone the entire time, calmly directing them. He said he could see lights in the distance, a town maybe. He mentioned he was near gravel roads. He blinked his car lights, trying to signal them. His parents drove up and down roads of Lind, but saw nothing. Frustrated but still calm, Brandon suggested he walk towards the light he could see, and his parents could meet him there. They agreed. He kept describing landmarks as he walked: fences, trees, gravel, a creek. This call lasted over 47 minutes, and then at exactly 2:30 a.m., Brandon suddenly interrupted himself mid-sentence and said, "Oh shit." The line went dead. No crash, no screaming, just gone. Panic set in immediately. Brandon's parents tried calling him 17 times that night, no answer. They drove around for hours but couldn't find him. At dawn, they contacted the police. But frustratingly, the police didn't take it seriously at first. They assumed, as so many cases start, that Brandon had simply wandered off after drinking and would come home. It wasn't until later that day that a formal search began, and when they traced Brandon's cell phone ping, shockingly, it showed he was nowhere near Lynn. He had actually been about 25 miles away, near a tiny rural town called Porter, Minnesota. He had misjudged his location. He thought he was close to home, but he was actually lost in the middle of isolated farmland miles from anything. When authorities reached the area where the cell phone last pinged, they found his abandoned car. It was stuck slightly in a ditch, perfectly functional. No damage, keys gone, no sign of struggle, just an empty car and endless fields. Search team combed the area extensively. Bloodhounds picked up Brandon's scent trail. It led from his car down the gravel road to a field and towards a small creek called the Yellow Medicine River. At the river's edge, the dogs lost the scent. Some theories suggest he may have tried to cross the creek. But when divers searched the river, no body, no clothes, no shoes. And weirdly, Brandon's scent reappeared on the other side of the river, suggesting he may have crossed it safely, but then it vanished completely. No footprints, no blood, no signs he was injured. It's as if Brandon simply disappeared into thin air. There were many theories surrounding this disappearance. Theory 1. Accidental drowning. This is one obvious theory. He fell into the river, hit his head, and drowned. But no body ever floated downstream. Multiple dives, cadaver dogs, and sonar scans found nothing. Rivers can be deadly, but bodies surface eventually. After 15 plus years, there is still no traces of Brandon. Theory 2. Hypothermia and disorientation. Some think he suffered from hypothermia. Even in May, nighttime temperatures in rural Minnesota can drop near freezing. In a state of confusion, he might have wandered further into the fields, collapsed, and died of exposure. But again, no remains were found, and Brandon was described as very coherent during the call, right up until his sudden exclamation. Theory 3. Animal attack. Could wild animals have attacked him? Maybe coyotes, wolves, even a bear. But there would likely be evidence of blood, clothing remains, or drag marks. There was nothing. Theory 4. Foul play. Some believe Brandon may have encountered another person. After all, the final words, "oh shit," suggests he saw something. Could a passing vehicle have stopped? Could someone hiding in the area have attacked him? Could he have been abducted? But again, no sign of struggle, no calls for help, no one witnessed anything unusual that night. But what are the odds in the middle of nowhere at 2:30 a.m.? Brandon's case has not only haunted investigators, it changed Minnesota's law. His parents successfully lobbied for the passing of Brandon's law in 2009. It requires immediate action by law enforcement when an adult is reported missing under suspicious circumstances, even if they're legally adults. No more wait 24 hours, no more he probably just ran away. Brandon's disappearance taught authorities and the world that when a person vanishes, every minute matters. It's been over 15 years. There's still no Brandon, no clues, no closure. He was right there, talking, walking, breathing, until he wasn't. In the stillness of those empty Minnesota fields, there are no answers, only echoes of a young man's last words, carried away by the wind. Where did Brandon Swanson go? We may never know. But tonight, somewhere out there, the gravel roads stretch on under the stars, and the question lingers. How can someone vanish while you're listening? If you found this story chilling, subscribe for more true horror, real crimes, and forgotten history. What case should I cover next? Drop your suggestions in the comment below, but remember, sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that actually happened.